Hey everybody, this is Sheri with ViREO Life, author of Go Forward 28 Days to Eat, Move, and Enjoy Life God's Way. I don't know if you have ever had a couple of things come into your life, a couple of passions come together at the same time for you. But today is a day that is happening for me, and I'm so excited, so I had to share it, and also some ways that it may benefit your life as well. I have, as you know, one of my big passions, my calling, in fact, is helping high achievers take care of their number one tool, taking care of their health. Well, I also have a passion that I don't talk about very much, and that is preventing human trafficking. And anyone who is now free from human trafficking, preventing them from going back into that or being in a situation where they get pulled back into it. And of course, drug addiction, things like that are all part of that as well. Well, today, I'm so excited because this evening I get to go talk to an organization or some women who are part of an organization. And it's funny because I've been using products from them for years. It's called Thistle Farms, and they make lotions and things like that I've been buying for years and using. And I get to go talk to them tonight about intuitive eating. So I thought I want to share that with you all as well, of what intuitive eating is, why it is so important, because it's not just important for them on their journey to freedom from drug addiction, from sex trade, from all of their being off the streets, free from that, but now freedom in their eating and listening to their bodies and trusting themselves and how God made their bodies to function when it comes to food. So let's talk through some of the basics that I'll be teaching them tonight. Intuitive eating, what is that? Just the core of intuitive eating is knowing that your body will tell you what it needs, when it needs it, and how much it needs. And that you are able to listen to that and obey it, for lack of a better term. So we all started as intuitive eaters. We all were that little toddler that you could not make eat when they are not hungry. But on the other hand, when they are hungry, nothing else is going to satisfy. They're crying. They want food. We were all that. So that's all still in us. And you're able to tap back into that. You're able to tap back into being an intuitive eater and listening to what your body says that it wants. If you've ever dieted, you know that it's that external rule of the diet saying you can't be trusted. You have to follow these rigid guidelines. And it breaks that trust that you have with your body, and it puts you in a bondage of sorts, most definitely. On the other hand, if someone hasn't paid attention to anything that they're eating and they are just going for whatever it is that they want and not what their body wants, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but just what they want in the moment, maybe they get addicted to sugar, they get addicted to other things in their food, and that begins to cause issues on the other end. And so let's go ahead and talk about intuitive eating, the basics. Think about it in 4 letters. All the intuitive eating research that's out there and all the books, I have boiled it down to where it's really easy to wrap your head around these 4 letters. First is H. How physically hungry are you? Are you physically hungry that your stomach is growling? What signals is your body giving you that you're physically hungry? Are there particular signals of lightheadedness or not able to think as well? Maybe you're getting a little brain fog. What are the physical symptoms that your body tells you that it's hungry? Now, a side note with the H, that's a place that we begin to delve into what are other reasons that we eat? Because if we're not physically hungry, as a toddler, if we were physically hungry, that was the only reason that we ate. But now, as adults, going through our life of dieting or using food to comfort, using food to take away stress, whatever reasons that we've used food other than physical hunger, we have to begin to look at those issues and say, is it an emotion? Is it boredom? What are the reasons we're eating other than physical hunger? So that's your first letter is H. Your second letter is W. What is it that you really want? Is it something in particular that you want? Maybe it is that you're in the mood for some citrus fruit. Well, maybe your body needs some extra vitamin C. What's the reason that your body's craving something in particular? And listening in to that. A lot of times people will crave foods that are high in iron. If their body, maybe they're craving beef because their body is low in iron. So listening to the what do you want also includes that external information. Now, we're not talking diets here, but we are talking about, is there research around a particular way of eating that works for your body? Because everyone's body is individual. There are so many studies out there, but with that, I boil it down to something I call a powerful plate, and I can get into that in another video where we look at the ratio of things where people start, of how much vegetable, protein, fat, and carbohydrate. So listening to what your body wants after you've identified, yep, I am truly hungry, I'm getting ready to eat. So H, W, and then your first S. S is slow and savor. What is it that puts the, what's the word for this? That puts the atmosphere together that you really can slow and savor your food? Because right behind me is my computer. And how many times have I caught myself going, oh, I'm hungry, so I'm getting good at the H. I'm hungry, I'm gonna grab something to eat, but I really wanna finish this project. I don't know if you've ever experienced that or not, but I really wanna get this done. So you're munching, even if it's healthy food, healthy in quotes there, munching while you're working on something else. Research shows us we consistently eat 10% more whenever we eat distracted. So if you are eating lunch and working at the same time, you're gonna overeat. Maybe not that you stuffed yourself, you don't feel like you've overeaten, but you've eaten 10% more. And that 10% may not sound like a lot, but I'm just gonna use general numbers here. For any of you who are used to calorie counting, let's say somebody normally would need 2,000 calories a day. 10% more than that would be 200. That's not a whole lot, but day after day after day, that keeps a person from losing weight if they are wanting to lose weight, or maybe it's even making them gain weight. So that W is important, of what do you want? The hunger is important, of are you really hungry? But also that S, slow and savor. Put away the distractions and focus on what it is that you're eating. Then we look at the final S, which is stopping when you're no longer hungry. And you really can't do that until you've done all the other letters before that. Are you hungry? What do you want? Are you slow and savoring? Now you're able to differentiate that, oh, I don't have those hunger signals anymore. I'm no longer hungry. I'm satisfied. I can put the food away. And then the next time I'm physically hungry, I know I can go get it again. There's so much depth to this whenever we look at what are some of the self-limiting beliefs that keep us from doing that, because conceptually in our minds we can know, yeah, that's if I did that, if I did those 4 letters on a regular basis, I would be eating healthy and I would get to where I wanted to get in my weight. But we sometimes don't do that. Why is it? Sometimes it's emotional eating, but sometimes there's self-limiting beliefs. Sometimes it's a sense of, I don't feel worthwhile enough to do this. And it's going to be interesting tonight at Thistle Farms. Maybe some of those topics will come up, maybe they won't. Everybody's journey is unique, and I don't want to go into it assuming that, you know, these women that I'm talking with have a certain mindset or live a certain way or have a certain thought about food. Just kind of going to be open to see what it is that their story is, just like your story is unique. What is it that makes you tick when it comes to food and comes to eating? You know, maybe it is nobody has an issue with food until you have a trigger of some family. We just came off the holidays. Maybe healthy eating for you is not an issue all the time, but you get around family and then there's some stress issues that you're wanting to eat, and another time it wouldn't be an issue at all. So HWSS, think through that for yourself. And if this is something that you want to dig deeper into, because we've obviously just touched the surface. I'll be talking about this for an hour tonight with these ladies, and even then it's going to be just touching the surface with them. I do have a 16-week immersion course called Thrive Life, and that course will take you through intuitive eating, exercise, mindset, making healthy habits stick, overcoming those self-limiting beliefs, stress, all that kind of stuff. But a big part of it is what we just talked about today, and that is intuitive eating, listening to what your body says, that what it wants, when it wants it, and how much it wants, because it can be trusted, and you can learn to trust yourself. That is what's one of the big things that happens with bondage from the dieting is we begin to lose trust with ourselves. We begin to lose that sense of, I really can be trusted with food. I really can trust myself to eat what's healthy for my body and when my body needs it. Intuitive eating will get you back into that over time. So if you're interested in Thrive Life or curious about if it's a 16-week immersion course and it's self-paced, it comes to your inbox so that you're able to do it at your own pace. Had somebody ask me once before they started it if, how long of a commitment each week. About 2 hours or so is what you want to commit to that. And if your health is important to you, I promise you can carve out a couple of hours to work through the homework each week for that 16 weeks to change your health trajectory, to change your life. It's called Thrive Life, 16-week course. Message me if you're thinking, oh, maybe it's something I'm interested in. We can talk about it to see if it's a good fit for you or not. So take a deep breath, everybody. If you are eating right now while you're watching this, you know what I'm going to tell you to do. I'm not going to tell you to turn off the video, but I'm going to tell you to pause. Actually, let's go ahead and dive into that one little piece. So when you are finding out that final S, where you're finding out if you are satisfied or not, here's one of the little tricks with that, is when you're putting your plate together, think about how much food will it take to fill me up. We're all initially going to be off by a little bit. If you think about your stomach, the size of your fist or the size of a fist and a half, by the way, that's of chewed up food. A lot of times people, when they go on a diet, they'll look at their plate and they say, oh, this should be the size of my fist. Well, if it's a salad, that is not very much lettuce, right? So when it's chewed up, about how much food your stomach can handle. So you put all this food on your plate, halfway through eating, pause. Pause for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and just do a check-in. Do I still have the same physical symptoms of hunger that I did at the beginning? Is my stomach growling? Am I still lightheaded? Am I still hangry? Whatever the case may be for you. Am I still hungry? And if I am still hungry, then you keep on eating. For that matter, one of the beautiful things of intuitive eating, there's no rigid rules around portions. The portion is determined by your body, because maybe you ran 6 miles that morning. You're going to be hungrier than if you hadn't worked out yet. When you are finished with your plate, you do another check-in. If you're still hungry, maybe you go get a couple more spoonfuls. If you're no longer hungry, you stop. It's all about listening to your body. And we walk you through that with the Thrive Life course, because it's a 16-week immersion course, and it includes a monthly coaching session, group coaching session. So if you have questions come up as you're going through it, let me know, because we can answer those questions for you. If you live in the Middle Tennessee area, I have partnered with Cycle Bar Hendersonville, and we are doing a New Year, New You program that incorporates Thrive Life and has some in-person hands-on things. So if you live in the Hendersonville, Goodlettsville area, let me or Cycle Bar Hendersonville know, and we'll get you hooked up with that. If you don't, that's fine. The course is all online. My part of it is all online, and we get you set up with your exercise and so forth with that. So last tidbit is, as I'm heading out to Thistle Farms to teach them a little in depth on all of this, if you are a prayer warrior, be praying that all of that goes well, because we will be opening up whatever discussion that these ladies need to talk about. And of course, anything I can't handle, I can have psychologists that I can get help from for them, but that is going to be going on tonight, so be praying about that. Thank you all for joining me on this, and we will chat with you later. And also let me know how your intuitive eating goes. Put in the comments section of, hey, this is really helpful. This is what I do. Oh, this is an area I need to work on. Let's make sure that we're all eating intuitively in this new year, because you can be trusted and your body can be trusted. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.